Hello, in today's video I've transformed this really tired and dated house in Old Portsmouth into a fantastic modern family home, maximising the sea views and creating more space on the ground floor, creating a really great master bedroom on the top floor that makes the most of these sea views. So, join me and see how I did it. So this house I think presents a fantastic opportunity. It's in probably the best part of Portsmouth, Old Portsmouth, and lots of character. It's got sea views. It's set back a little from the sea. It's not right on the front, but because it's on the end of terrace, you get views through here across Governor's Green, across the King's Bastion and Long Curtain Battery out to the Solent. So you're just seeing boats all day. It's one of those sort of great waterfronts where there's always something going on, both the weather and sort of marine traffic. So on the ground floor, well, let's have a look through the photos, shall we first? So that's the front. So it needs a transformation, need to turn it into something good. It's got the beginnings of some good stuff though, so it's already got a terrace here. So from a planning point of view, making that a bit bigger should be fairly straightforward. The front of it just needs a bit of, even if you just put new windows and tidied it up, it would look better. But I think there's an opportunity to just re-proportion the bedrooms on the first floor so that as many rooms as possible, as many decent sized rooms, make the most of that view across, and that's the Isle of Wight across there. Next door there's a detached house behind these gates. This was a former military barracks in here that was turned into a housing development in the 70s, which matches the interior. I mean, if you just got it like this, you could turn it into a museum. I kind of quite like it, but there you go. It doesn't. So this is the room up in the top. So room out. Funny sort of chimney detail here. This entrance here, I think this toilet stuffed in the corner, I think I'd look to get rid of that and open that space up and move the toilet more into the middle of the plan. Really good lounge. It's got room for a decent sized piano and two side by side armchairs, but I think perhaps I would think to block that off from the rest of the house and have a separate lounge, because I think you could create room at the back by extending. This is the dining room, and then that's the kitchen in there. So I think linking those together is going to be a sort of a bit of a no-brainer with the way that sort of people want to live now. There is a sort of conservatory thing at the back, and I would consider knocking the back wall out, putting an extension on here. I don't think you'd have to. I think you could keep the ground floor as it is and open up, i.e. don't extend, but I think in this video I'm going to look at extending. So, well, you kind of get the idea, but this is the opportunity, I think, on the top floor to do something and make a really special room. Because, I mean, for instance, that room, this room, even if you sat at a desk, you'd struggle to see out the window, and out there is the Solent, so it makes sense, even if it was just to make that window bigger. And then on the floor plans, living room, dining room, kitchen. So this is where I'm going to think to extend. This is a bit of a jumble. You've got a funny corridor here. I think this room's kind of small, and I'd think about putting a master bedroom up in the top here, and then making this the bedroom 2, which would mean make it a little bit narrower, which would mean make that one a bit wider, which means you'd have 2 rooms facing the sea. The staircase, I think I'll leave in this instance, but if I was looking at it in detail, I would consider moving that stair a little bit to the back of the house. That would mean that you free up more space across the front, so that would help at the top here and on this floor. And just try and keep 3 bedrooms. I think it's got 5 beds, but they're not, they're not good sized rooms overall. So you'd want to check with your sort of estate agent as to whether taking a bedroom away would have any damaging effect on the value, if you cared about that. But I would say that a really good 4-bed house here would be, with an extension and everything, it would be worth more than just a refurbished version of this. Okay, so let's get on with it. So I think to upgrade this house and transform it into something that most people want to live in is pretty easy, actually. I think possibly the hardest thing is deciding what to do with all the bedrooms and how to sort of compromise on the fact that currently it's got 5, and getting your head around the fact that you might end up with less bedrooms, and worrying about what that might do to the sort of value of the property, which I'm sure your agent would be able to advise you on. To me, on the ground floor, I think is where I'd start with this, and you could extend at the back 3 meters as it's a terraced house. It's an end of terrace, so you can go 3 meters under permitted development without planning, even though you're in a conservation area, as long as you stick within some rules about heights and the like. And I think that gives you the benefit then of creating a good open plan space. At the moment you've got a sort of, an old style kitchen, breakfast room and a dining room. Even just knocking those 2 into one and not extending would be an improvement, and you've got a nice big lounge at the front. So I think I would keep that lounge exactly as it is, and I would look to block off those doors there and separate it from the rest of the house. I think number 1 on the list of improved house transformations is have a separate lounge. Don't go full open plan, I would suggest, although if it's your house and you want to do it, go for it. So that would be a separate lounge in here, and then at the back here I would just think to move a utility room, laundry room and downstairs loo into the middle of the plan. It's got a downstairs toilet here, but I'll get rid of that and just make that entrance hall a bit more generous. Feels a bit tight. And so to do that, and this is sort of item number 2 on the list, a utility room. I think you go about 1.7 meters, and I'll just sort of, let's draw another one here so we keep it a bit accurate. So we're going to draw a wall line across here, put a new wall in here, and I would carry that on over this side as well, and that would become on this side. You could actually put a shower room in there, I think, if you made that 1.2, but I'm just going to put a loo for now. And then on this side I'd line that wall through with there, and I'd do a 2.5 meter long utility room, and that would mean we can have you can have a toilet here and a basin and a door there. I then have a sort of cloaks cupboard here for shoes and the like, and then my laundry room, utility room could be here. And then in the back you've just got yourself a nice open plan space that you can create that good little space that looks out onto the garden. Now the front of the house is south-west facing, so the garden is sort of broadly north facing. I think you will get some morning sun and probably get some evening sun in the back of it. But the main sort of sunny bit is towards the front, which is perhaps the only real downside of the house, to be honest, that you don't get a sunny back garden. But you do have some opportunities upstairs for that I'll run through. So what I would do is put the kitchen, so I'd have some sort of sliding pocket doors here to keep that open. I would put the kitchen on this side. I think when you come in the front door, you want to be able to see right through, and a lumpy sort of kitchen island just sort of blocks that view. And also the sort of, so you could put the kitchen here and put an island somewhere here, but then you sort of, when you come in, you sort of see the back of the island and where the sort of cooking side, I suppose, and I think that's less good. It's not the end of the world. You see it in quite a lot of houses, but I wouldn't do it. I think the kitchen tucked around here would be better. You could have some cabinets sort of running here as well, so it's sort of the whole back. So this could be sort of storage of things you don't use that often. You could then have a dining table sort of here. It could be, you've got options there to make that bigger at Christmas, for instance. And then I think you probably just put some sofas, and you could have a sofa. You could have some seating on the back here of the island, and then you got a sofa space sort of here. Good size sofa. in there. Some pictures on the wall. You could have a TV up here, for instance. Gives you a chance to have another chair in here. And then this room, it's got a nice potential for a nice fireplace. It doesn't really have any side access, this house, but I think that's kind of fine. There is a nice strip between this and the next property, so it feels quite spacious. You've got a nice entrance hall here. You got some options for armchairs and like there. So that's great. It's a really nice ground floor, I think. Just sort of, it's got everything you need. Nice generous entrance hall, utility room, cupboards. Then when you go upstairs, you could put a living room on the top floor. Personally, if I bought it, I think that is what I would do. But I think for most people, trying to get a master bedroom up there would be an option. Currently, there is a small balcony. I'm going to start on the top and go down to the middle floor. There is a small balcony that and a dormer that I think you could enlarge. There are, I think the house further up has got a bigger front dormer. I think as long as you sort of kept broadly within the sort of scale of those size of dormers, you could get a bigger terrace, and as long as you kept some roof slope in front of it, so you couldn't go right out to the front, because I think the planners would want you to keep that sort of look of the house from the front with a pitch roof and a inset dormer, inset roof terrace and a dormer, but you could certainly get bigger. I think at the back there is a house also, a lot of part of the sort of this original development, but not on the terrace, that's got a dormer at the back, and I would consider trying to get planning to add a dormer on the back as well, because I think that would give you the option at the back to do something. I'd consider taking out that chimney breast and just having a flue for if you wanted to put a fire downstairs. I just think they take up space, and when they pop through the roof, they're a bit of a liability, particularly in a exposed environment like this. You'd then end up with something in this area. You're going to need a lobby or something. It may benefit from a bit of a replan of the stairs, which I would, if I was looking at it sort of properly for a paying client, I'd have a look at how that might work. Then create maybe just a nice bathroom across the back here. When you could box that out here, you've got space for a bed. Maybe put the bed towards the sort of back of the room. And just make sure I draw a bed about the right size, about like that. Because that would mean then you've got some nice doors here. You could have a dressing table or something here. You've then got room in here for bathroom and walk-in closet. I think that's what I was trying to work out. So, I mean, broadly, you could put a door in there. You could have a walk-in closet. You probably don't have a window here, and you have a sort of a closet space there that you could have a sliding door there. You then have a wall in there, and you got room for a bath or a big shower, toilet, basin, and you've got bedroom number 1, sea views, space for some armchairs as well, so you could sort of double up as a space for living and terrace. Make the terrace big enough to get table and chairs out of it, and you can imagine actually that as a living space would also work quite well. So the stairs coming up here like this, and then on this floor we've got this sort of very strange little corridor here to nowhere, and it looks like the chimney's been made small there, but that may just be how this plan's been drawn. So you've got a master bedroom. So the trick here, I think, would be to try and maximise bedrooms with a sea view. We've got the stair in the way here, and that's why I would consider relocating the stair. In fact, relocating the stair into this back, more onto the back corner, would mean it would come up here and would have less impact on the top floor as well. So trying to get the stair out of here, remove the whole thing back, would make some sense. And perhaps on the ground floor, there'd be ways to do that. That would be a more extensive project. But I think with the views here, you want to try and get as much living space to the front of the house as possible. I think I'll just keep it as it is for now, and I'll probably just try and get that bedroom, because we've already got a master bedroom now, so actually we could just get a little bit more space into this room in here, and we really don't need quite so much sort of corridor space that as this has got. I think you'd end up with a more generous hallway. Let me think about how to do this. I think probably I'd put the door in there, because then you could have the wardrobes across the back, and you can have the bed sort of down here somewhere. You can make the most of the views. I think about getting that window to be wider, which I think you'd need planning permission, but I think you'd get planning permission for that. This door might be better in the middle of the room, but I'm going to draw it there for now. You could have a bed here. I think that room is now 3 by nearly 3, so it's not far off a double. And if you position the door in a smart way, that would become a double bedroom as well. I think relocating the door, and you can see, but if you could move the stair up, this room could get to be almost the same size as that one. You then perhaps want to think about how this back bit of the house works. The stair comes up round that way, but if you put a winder on it, a winder steps that sort of look like that, so you come round and turn, you could end up in this part of the hall, which means that you could just create a bit less space. You could then probably realign that wall over to make that room bigger. If you could get 3 by 1, I wonder if you could, so 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. So there's a few things you could do here. We could make this the bedroom and you make that the bathroom, just leave it as it is. We'd then slightly improve things with that arrangement. You could put a bathroom in the middle here and put a bedroom across the back, but I think that might impact on the stair. You could go 3 there. It doesn't quite give you enough. So perhaps for this we just do something like this. Just have a look at realigning some of these walls, block up that funny little window. We then get a bedroom in there, a bathroom in there, which probably means you could also have a cupboard here for a hot water cylinder and still get room for a bath in there. Probably have a shower here, a toilet kind of there, and a basin on the back wall, and you've got your window here. This room, you probably want to try and get that window a bit bigger. And the stairs then all sit in this zone here. So these ones go up to the loft, and these ones come up from downstairs go up. So you get a slightly bigger landing, and there could be ways to sort of put a cupboard also in there. I mean, you don't want 2 hot water cylinders, but it's another option for a place for one, and just also handy cupboard space. And then that room you could move that door to there, and then you could have wardrobes across the back of there, and then you got another good size bedroom in here. Get rid of that. Wall there, so that's get rid of that door. Okay, so I think just with an extension here, we've created a really good ground floor. But as I said at the beginning, you could not extend and achieve a similar layout. You just wouldn't have a utility room. Upstairs, we're getting 3 good bedrooms, a family bathroom, and then keep the stair where it is. Come up to a nice master bedroom upstairs. You need a dormer on the back to make the most of this, although I think you could make it work without that probably. You just wouldn't have such a big bedroom, and a slightly larger dormer and balcony at the front to maximise those views. So pretty good, fairly straightforward transformation, I think, to make a fantastic house.